Video game collecting in the year of our Lord, 2026 is a mistake. Alright, so level with me a bit here. You probably clicked this video and thought to yourself, yeah, I know what this video is about. You read the title, and I admit, it's a little different for us older people in the retro community, and just in gaming in general. Because the older guys have been around longer, and if you're anything like me, there's a pretty good chance that you've built a museum of video games over the years, right? Buying them on sale. But I'm going to be honest with you. When a young kid walks up to me, and they ask me what they should do to get into retro game collecting, maybe they're saving their allowances, and their favorite YouTuber just showed off this really dope N64 game they've never heard of. My advice boils down to a simple rule. Don't. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Let me break it down. If you're going to buy new games, and you want to support your favorite developer, right? And you feel like, hey, these people deserve my time and my money. The first thing you can do is just wait for sales. Fact of the matter is, there's too many games. Games are disposable. I hate to say it, but they're everywhere. They're going to be cheaper in 6 months, most of the time. Sometimes sooner. Guaranteed. So just wait for a sale. Don't buy it right away. Second, never pre-order. Don't buy into the hype. Don't even buy it at launch. Who cares if you play it later? The game's going to still be around. Purchasing a game early is basically paying an early adopter tax. So don't do that. Don't let FOMO run your wallet. Third, you might know some people in your life that have games. Consider borrowing games from your friends. You remember friends? If you have some, ask them, hey, I know that you bought so-and-so game. Ask them nicely and say, hey, maybe I can let you borrow this if you let me borrow that. You know, it's still legal. Fourth, just emulate. What are you doing? Use a computer. Use your Android phone. Use your iPhone. Or you can buy a Mr. FPGA if you're feeling fancy. But just emulate, especially if you're playing old stuff that you can't buy anymore. And lastly, if all else fails, and let's say you own a halfway decent computer, congrats! There are games being released by major companies just giving them away. There's giveaways on Steam, there's weekly giveaways on Epic, Good Old Games has games on there that they give away. People post stuff to the itch.io website all the time that's free. And there's plenty of other places online if you know where to look. On top of that, like I was saying earlier, with sales, there's cheap game websites that sell keys for like next to nothing. There's too many of them. Games are everywhere. It's never been easier to play them without sabotaging your life savings. The more time I spend on this planet, the less convinced I am that collecting games should be a life goal. If you buy a game, do yourself a favor and play it right away. Don't just put it on a shelf and keep it in shrink wrap or leave it in a Steam sale folder. Don't mark it on your backlog, just start playing the game. Just do it. Just play the game. You spent the money. Get some enjoyment out of it. There was an argument I read a few years ago that made me think about this position a little bit. I forget exactly who said it, but the idea was, if your collection is entirely digital, it's like it doesn't really exist. The whole phrase, out of sight, out of mind. And that's supposed to be one of the reasons why Steam libraries spiral out of control, because people literally forget what they own. But I think that argument kind of ignores a few things. I mean, like I said earlier, there's just too many games, period. It's never been easier for folks to self-publish. Gaming development isn't quite the walled garden it was like 30 years ago. And frankly, everything nowadays is competing for your attention, especially if you're a gamer looking for your next fix. I'm willing to admit sometimes choice paralysis plays a factor. Because there's so many games, you might not even know what you want to play. But here's the thing. If a game is truly good, it will keep your attention. It'll keep you engaged. Sometimes you need to make time to play the game. You have to tell yourself, I'm going to make this a priority. Sometimes all it takes is word of mouth. Maybe someone says to you randomly on a Discord chat, hey man, you should check this out. And suddenly that game that you haven't really been paying that much attention to becomes the next thing you want to play. So that's why I'd rather recommend games I genuinely enjoyed to people who I think might like them. At least I think that's better than encouraging them to go to frickin' eBay and putting in a bid for another dusty copy of Earthbound.
Hey Zyber! Yeah!